So in yesterday's class, we were discussing centroids, and I tossed three words. One is center of mass, another is center of gravity, and third one is centroid. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's Vedant, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we have considered we had considered a body of this shape as shown here, and we said that its thickness is varying along y. I hope you remember. Now we have considered this left bottom corner as the origin, and this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. That's what we have considered. Section XX looks something like this. So in case 1, we have considered thickness to be varying, and in case 2, subsequently we will consider thickness to be constant throughout. Vedang, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now rho is the density of material in kg per meter cube, and we said that this rho is not constant throughout the body and it is varying from point to point, generalized case. Similarly, this thickness is a function of y, and gravitational constant g is also function of x and y. That's what we have assumed. So most generalized case where rho, g and t are not constant, they are functions of x, y or y. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then we considered a point in this body P at having coordinates x and y. About this point P, we have constructed a small strip. We have constructed a small element of thickness, which is equal to thickness at y, ty, and its dx and its area in xy plane is dx into dy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And dx into dy were infinitesimally small. We tried to write down the volume of this small chunk, and that is dx dy into thickness at y, which is marked here. Are you with me?
Ye-
That is the volume. This multiplied by rho at x and y, because rho is a function of x and y. So at this location of P, whatever is the rho, that rho I am substituting here. So that rho at x and rho at x comma y multiplied by ty into dx into dy. This turns out to be mass of this small chunk. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
That mass multiplied by g at x and y, because we also said g is a function of x and y, it will vary from point to point. So at this point x and y, whatever is the g prevalent, that I have multiplied multiplied this mass with, so we get the weight of this small chunk. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
To get the weight of entire body, what we have said is W is equal to integration over x and y. X is varying, y is varying, so it is double integration. Rho into ty into dx into dy into g. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the point where we left in the last class. Now let us resume. The next question that I am going to ask myself is, where does this resultant act? Or if I were to assume the entire weight of the body to be acting through a single point, where should I place it? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us, I have drawn a zoomed view of this body here. So point P is corresponding to this red shaded area, and the coordinates of this point P is x and y. This dx and dy are infinitesimally small. So we are at a point in strictest sense. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now I can divide this body into finite number of such infinitesimally small chunks. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Those chunks I have marked with this blue lines. So let us say this is one chunk, then this is another chunk, this is another chunk. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
At every of this chunk has different coordinates x and y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so every chunk has its uh, own self weight. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Let me mark those as W1, W2. So W1 is the weight of this chunk. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
W2 is the weight of this chunk. And where does it act? As these chunks are have infinitesimally small area, it is as if a point. So they act through that point. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
W2. Then this is the another chunk which has weight W3. And how many such chunks are there? Finite
And
number of infinitesimally small. So let us say n. where n is very large number. So it is Wn. This corresponds to this chunk, weight of this small chunk. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what can you say about this W1, W2, and Wn? Do they lie in a single plane?
Yes.
Yes. So they are. So all these chunks, their weights form a coplanar force system. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Planar. Is there point of intersection of their lines of action same or different?
Same.
How?
Uh,
This line of action and this line of action, they will never intersect. So in
yeah.
fact, we don't have a point of intersection. Do you agree
Yes, sir.
with me?
Yes, sir.
So is it a concurrent or non-concurrent force system?
Non-concurrent.
Non-concurrent. So I identified this force system as coplanar and non-concurrent force system. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have to locate the location of resultant of this force system. That's where the weight is going to act. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
But what is the magnitude of resultant? Magnitude of resultant, if I were to do, I will have to find out Rx, which is equal to summation Fx. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
But summation Fx is 0 because all the forces are in y direction.
Yes, sir.
So some Rx is 0. What about Ry? If I were to do Ry, I will have to solve this integration itself. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So Ry is nothing but the total weight of the body. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is resultant? Resultant is square root of Rx square plus Ry square. That is nothing but W. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. And what is the theta made by this Ry with reference to x-axis? We call it as alpha, right? Angle made by resultant with reference to x-axis. Happy?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Isn't it tan inverse of Ry upon Rx?
Yes, sir.
So Ry is W upon Rx is 0. So what is tan inverse of infinity? Tell me.
Tan infinity.
Tan inverse of infinity is
Ni-
nothing but pi by 2 or 90 degrees. Do
90
you agree
degrees.
with me?
Yes, sir.
So that means this resultant is in vertical direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I have shown that resultant W in vertical direction, and this resultant has a magnitude capital W, where W is the weight of entire body. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know where it acts. So I assume that it acts at distance x from left hand. So its line of action has a perpendicular distance capital X comma G from origin. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is assumed. And now we have to find out what is this xg. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why did I denote it as xg? Because weight is on account of gravity. So whatever means the location of this resultant, I am going to call it as center of gravity. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So to locate center of gravity, its x coordinate, I have called it as xg. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is the origin. Okay. Now, so we know W, we don't know what is xg, and we know all these small values of W1, W2 up to Wn. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And we also know where they are acting. For example, W1 is acting at this point, W2 is acting at this point, so on and so forth. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us apply Varignon's theorem. Varignon's theorem we can apply to this situation to find out where this W acts or where the resultant acts. This W is nothing but the resultant. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does Varignon's theorem say? Moment of resultant about an point. So that point I'm going to choose it as O. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
But about Z axis passing through O. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So moment of resultant about Z axis passing through O must be equal to what? Tell me. Summation of moments of all the forces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
about z axis passing through the same point. This is what is Varignan's theorem. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. Chalo. So let us apply Varignan's theorem. If I apply Varignan's theorem, tell me, what should be the left hand side? What should I write for left hand side? W multiplied by its moment about z axis
Z
passing
axis.
through O is going to be how much? W multiplied by xg.
XG.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
But is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Tell me.
Sir, it's anti-clockwise.
No, you
Clockwise.
are
Sorry, clockwise. Clockwise. Sorry, clockwise.
yes, clockwise. This force about O causes a moment of clockwise sense. So should I give a negative sign here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This must be equal to. चलो बोलो क्या लिखूं यहाँ पे?
So it would be the entire force that is acting.
No,
Entire
right
amount
hand
of
side में we have to consider W1, W2 up to Wn.
WN. Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So can I write a force corresponding to the shaded red portion? How much is the force? We have already written it. कैसे लिखा है बोलो? Rho multiplied by G
G.
multiplied by dx multiplied by dy multiplied by thickness at y. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
This is the weight of this small chunk. And it is located at distance, how much? It is located at distance x. Because coordinates of P are x comma y. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if it is located at distance x from origin O, what is its moment about O? देखो इसका
H.
moment कितना होगा? It is also
H.
clockwise in nature. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And how much is that? Tell me.
It's
Rho
x
g
into.
dx dy ty into x.
Yes, sir.
And clockwise, so I give negative sign.
Negative.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many such strips are there? Finite, but very large in number. So how do I calculate the moment of weights of all these small strips? कैसे calculate करना होगा? Integrate करना होगा? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I integrate it over x comma y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now negative sign is going to vanish from both sides. It can be taken outside the integral. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And how do I write this xg? Xg therefore now can be written as double integration x comma y rho g dy x dx dy. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Divided by
W.
w. Are you with me? Vedang, are you with me? Vedang? What happened to him? Okay. So let me ask Shardul to unmute. Shardul, can you unmute yourself? Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, can I replace this W by this double integration? Kunal? W is this double integration. So I can replace it by this and therefore I get xg equal to. So just have a look here. What is xg? xg is double integration rho g t dx dy into x divided by double integration xy rho g t dx dy. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
This is w, this one, and this is nothing but moments of all the forces. Summation of moments of, yes, go ahead.
Sir, I'm Neil Tamankar. You had called my name. I was facing some mic issues.
Who is this?
Neil Tamankar, sir.
Okay, Neil, no issues. Mute yourself. Kunal will keep himself unmuted.
Okay,
So
thank you, sir.
summation of moments of all the forces about z-axis passing through point O is nothing but the numerator. Do you agree with me, Kunal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the formula that I got for locating x coordinate of center of gravity. Why do I call it as center of gravity? Because W is going to act through W is correlated to gravity. The existence of W is because of gravity. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, the point of application, or the point where total weight of the body can be assumed to be acting, has to be called as center of gravity of the body. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I want you to examine this formula carefully. In this formula, rho and g are functions of x and y. That's what we assume. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So rho varies with x and y, g varies with x and y, and t is a function of y. Thickness, as we said, is a function of y in case 1. Happy?
Yes.
So can you take this rho, g and t outside the integration sign? No, because we are
No.
integrating with reference to dx and dy. As rho, g and t are functions of xy, we cannot take them outside the integration sign. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now we are going to make certain simplifications. What are those simplifications? Simplification number 1. What if I say the thickness is constant throughout? Are you with me?
Hmm.
So if thickness is constant throughout, what is going to happen? Tell me. This t will come outside the integration.
Outside.
Outside t will get cancelled. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And so before we make the assumption of thickness, let us make the assumptions of g being constant. Let us say g is constant throughout. Are you with me?
Yes.
So can I pull this g outside the integration sign?
Yes.
Then in that case, what happens to xg? Can you tell me? What will be xg? It will be double integration x comma y multiplied by rho, which is function of xy, t dx dy. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Happy? This multiplied by x, and this entire thing divided by double integration with reference to x and y, rho t dx dy. Happy?
Yes.
G cancels out. So what I'm assuming here, if g is constant, or g is not a function of x and y. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is other way of saying g is constant. Happy?
Yes.
Now, tell me, in this formula, we are not talking about the gravity, but we are talking about only the distribution of mass. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore, instead of calling it as xg, then I am going to call it as xm, where xm is the x coordinate of center of mass of a body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Center of mass. Happy?
Yes.
And this is center of gravity. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, if I define center of mass in this fashion, what are the conditions when center of mass and center of gravity will coincide? Only one condition, if g is not a function of x and y. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So if g is not a function of x and y, that means if this condition is satisfied, mandatorily, ये condition satisfy हुआ, तो ये दोनों same रहेंगे. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will make further simplification in this. Let us say the density also remains constant throughout. Are you with me?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So if density is not a function of, x and y, this is other way of saying density is constant. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then what happens? Tell me. Can I pull this density outside the integration?
Yes.
And
It
what
will
do
get
I get
cancelled.
there? This right hand side will be equal to double integration x comma y t dx dy into x. Are you with me?
Yes.
This divided by, tell me,
Double
integration over x
integral
and y
t dx dy.
t dx
Dx dy.
Happy?
Yes.
Now, do you see there are only geometrical properties on right hand side? There is no density, there is no material property, there is no gravitation. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Only geometry. So we call it as the x coordinate of center of geometry, which is by definition we call it as centroid. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is centroid? It is nothing but center of the geometry. If I have to assume the entire geometry is concentrated at one point, that one point will have x coordinate equal to this. Are you with me?
Yes.
So we call this as centroid, and I denote it by xg or simply x. Happy?
Yes.
Now tell me, when does a body have centroid, center of mass, located at the same location?
Mm,
When this condition is met. Do you
right.
agree with me?
Right.
So if you have density to be constant, G may not be constant. G has nothing to do with what I am saying. If rho is constant throughout, you have centroid and center of mass coinciding with each other. Happy?
Yes.
Now, if you have rho constant and on top of that, if you also have G constant, then you have all three, centroid, center of mass and center of gravity, to be coinciding with each other.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So the only quantity that has any physical meaning is center of gravity. Then center of mass and center of geometry or centroid, they are just the mathematical definitions. But all these three will coincide only and only when two conditions are met. कौन से? G is constant and rho is constant.
That was fine.
If only
Okay.
rho is constant, then center of mass and centroid are same. If rho and G both are constant, then center of mass and center of gravity are same. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we are very clear about this definition, now let me also put in perspective what will be the y coordinate of all these quantities. Y coordinate kya hoga? Are you with me?
Yes.
Because when I say I want to know where this W acts, it is not sufficient that I find out its x coordinate. I also need to find out its y coordinate. Happy?
Yes.
To find out y coordinate, I will assume that the gravity is acting in this direction. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Or in other words, I will tilt the object by 90 degrees. Happy?
Yes.
And I will get the similar expression. So what will be yg? Can you tell me? It is double integration. Rho g t dx dy y.
Into y. Yes.
Divided by this quantity, whatever it is. And then the same discussion pertains for ym and y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So finally, अभी centroid अचानक बीच में टॉपिक कहां से आया? Because the definition of centroid begins with locating the point where the entire weight of the body acts. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We come across the situations where rho and g are constants. So therefore, we use the word center of gravity and centroid interchangeably. Are you with me?
Okay.
So you have to understand, whenever you use the word centroid or center of gravity, they mean the same when rho and g are constant. So
Yes.
with this, now let us take one step ahead. Let us say I am interested only in centroids of laminas. Lamina का मतलब होता है thickness is constant throughout. Are you with me? That means this case 2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the case where thickness is constant throughout. I call them as lamina, laminae. Are you with me? All
Yes, sir.
2D objects with constant thickness, I'm going to call them as laminae. Happy?
Yes.
So if thickness is constant, now tell me what happens here.
The t will come out of the integration.
T will come out of the integration. So I get location of centroid. Now I will forget about center of mass and center of gravity, because this is in this topic we are going to only deal with centroids, and that too of laminae. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So t comes outside. So the formula further simplifies. It is integration over x and y. Do you agree?
Yes.
And what it is? Tell me.
Dx dy.
Dx dy into x. Happy?
Yes.
Divided by, tell me.
in double integral xy dx dy.
T dx dy. Happy? No,
No,
T is
sir.
going to
T
get
T will
cancelled.
get T will get cancelled. Yes.
Happy?
Yes, sir.
अब जरा मुझे आप बताओ यहाँ पे, just have a look here. What is dx and what is dy? Dx and dy are infinitesimally small dimensions of this strip. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
This is dx and this is dy. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So if I take dx into dy, what is it?
It's the area of the chunk.
Isn't it small area of that chunk?
Yes.
So can I call it as dA?
Yes.
So अब जरा देखो, I'm going to do something interesting now. This x therefore now becomes a times x. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, dA times x. dA times x. And this integral is area integral. Are you with me? Double integrals are area integrals. Triple
Yes.
integrals are volume integrals. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So dA into dx. And now what is this? Tell me. Integration over the
Integration
area.
dA.
dA. So what exactly is this quantity? Total area of this object. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
This total area is nothing but the quantity in the denominator. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because I am taking integration of dA over A. So it is going to be A. That is total area of the lamina. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. Instead of considering this dx and dy to be infinitesimally small, if I consider them as some finite quantities, delta x and delta y, are you with me?
Yes.
Then what does x stand for? X stand for distance of centroid of that area from origin. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So x is nothing but the distance of centroid of dA. I hope you agree with me.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I have to replace this integration by summation, how do I write it? So I will now, what I am trying to say is, I am splitting this body into now n number of areas, A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I know the distance of their centroids from O in x direction. Those are x1, x2, x3, x4, xn. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can I replace this by summation an xn? What is an? An is the nth area, and what is xn? It's distance along x from O. Distance of its centroid along x from O. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So an xn in strictest sense is nothing but the moment about z axis passing through O of area an. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And instead of calling it as an and xn, I will call it as ai and xi. Are you with me?
Yes.
And its sum from I equal to 1 to n is the denominator. Do you agree with me? So these
Yes.
two representations are similar. Happy?
Yes.
And what is the numerator? It is summation I running from 1 to n. If there are n number of areas in which I have divided the object, it is a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an total area. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So it is going to be ai. So this is the famous formula that you already know. The centroid is given by summation ai xi upon summation ai. This is the x coordinate of centroid. What is the y coordinate of centroid? Tell me.
Summation I to n ai yi.
1 to n ai yi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Divided by summation of I running from 1 to n ai. What is yi then? Yi is nothing but the distance of centroid of AI from O in Y direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So is it absolutely clear now, these two formulae?
Yes.
So these are the two formulae that we are going to frequently use in solving the problems based on centroid. Happy?
Yes.
But also never lose the flavor of integration, because if you have irregular shape, we are left with only the idea of using integrals. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now with this, there are certain list of centroid locations for certain shapes which are already known, जो पहले से पता है. Are you with me? They can be derived based on the integration. Integration का जो formula है उसके हिसाब से ये derive किए जा सकते हैं. But they are already known, so we will list them down and we will memorize them to save our time. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if you consider this triangle, then which is the origin in this case? The origin is this. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is y bar? Y bar is given as h by 3. Happy?
Yes.
So this is known. Just give me a minute. Hello? Hello? हो बोलते हैं. Yes. So sorry for the interruption. Now let us go ahead. So y bar is given here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Let us now go to quarter circle and semicircular area. You have to carefully look in all these figures where the origin is located. So origin is located here. In this case, the origin is located here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So in quarter circle, this is x bar and this is y bar. And in semicircle, as it is symmetric about the y-axis, therefore there is no question of x bar. Are you with me? X bar is going to lie along this line.
Yes, sir.
Centroid is going to lie along this line. So you will be only interested in y bar. So only y bar is given. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So centroid lies on this vertical axis and it is at distance y bar. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So those distances are given here, 4r by 3 pi and 4r by 3 pi. This is for quarter circle. This is x bar is 0 for semicircle. As I said, it lies on this line, and y bar is 4r upon 3 pi. And area also is given in the next column. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have been given the list for laminate. ये सारे laminates के लिए है. And now, what if we have a wire? Instead of laminate, if you have a 1D element wire, तो क्या होगा? तो उसके भी centroids यहाँ पे locate करके दिए. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now I will not go in details of explaining this formula to you. Instead, we will solve the problems based on centroid, where we will be using this formula frequently. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So let us go to problem number 7, where we need to find out centroid of this shaded zone. Are you with me?
Yes.
And it is with reference to O that we have to find out this centroid. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we go about it? The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to split this figure into the areas whose centroids are already known. तो ये जो लिस्ट है, इस लिस्ट में जिसके centroids known है, उसमें ये फिगर को हम बांटेंगे. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, how do I obtain this shape? The question is, if that question is asked, then जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. This is the parabola. Are you with me?
Yes.
Vertex का मतलब होता है the tangent there is going to be horizontal. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the parabola. I am going to call this area as A1. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So let me call this area as A1. I hope you have understood. Now, from this area, if I subtract the triangle, then I get this shape. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So how does that triangle look like? So that triangle is going to look something like this. Are you with me?
Yes.
So area of that triangle, I'm going to call it as A2. Happy?
Yes.
So mind you, area A1 is the entire parabola and you are subtracting A2 from that. So A1 minus A2 results in this figure. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. Now, question. Do you know what is A1 and what is A2? So let us try to, now we are going to solve this problem in a tabular form. तो पहले हम क्या करेंगे? First column will be A, AI. Are you with me?
Yes.
So how many AIs are there? Tell me. There are two AIs. One is parabola and another one is triangle. Happy?
Yes.
This is the parabola. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. And the second one is triangle. How does that triangle look like? Now, can I calculate the area of this parabola and area of this triangle? Tell me.
Yes.
पहले triangle का कर लेते हैं. That is easy. So what is the
Yes.
area of this triangle? Half 60 into 75. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Half 60 into 75. This is going to be your first column, AI. Now, what sign should I assign to it? So mind you, if to get the original shape, I have to take off this area, I'm going to give it a negative sign.
Okay.
Are you with me? So when do we
Yes.
give negative sign? When I have to remove a particular area in order to get the original shape, then I am going to assign a negative sign to that area. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And so I am going to call this as A1 and this as A2. So A2 is going to be negative. What about A1? A1 is going to be positive. I have to first produce the plate of this parabolic size. From that, I have to remove A2. So A1 will have positive sign. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, just let us have a look at the area of parabola here. So parabolic area. तो इन दोनों में से कौन सी सिचुएशन है यहाँ पे बताओ मुझे. See, this O is the vertex of parabola. Are
Yes.
you with me? So
Yes.
therefore, we are dealing with this situation, but in an inverted fashion. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore, what is the area? Area will have same formula, and that is going to be 2AH by 3. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What is
Yes.
A? A is this distance. So what is A in our case?
75.
Yes. So I'm going to write it as 2AH by 3. And I'm going to now substitute 2 into 75. Happy?
Yes.
What is H? Tell me. So
60.
H is nothing but this distance. Happy?
Yes.
How much is that distance for in our case?
60.
No, it is 120.
Okay. Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes,
So
sir.
2 into 75 into 120 by 3 is going to be our A1. So can you tell me how much is A1 and how much is A2?
A1 is 6,000.
A1 is 6,000 and A2 is
2,250.
2250. And mind you, you will have to also mention the unit. So what is the unit here? Mm square. Happy?
Yes.
We will have to be consistent as far as the unit is concerned. So this is the first thing that we do. Now, second thing, with reference to a chosen origin, can I now locate its x coordinate and y coordinate? X coordinate and y coordinate of centroids of these two areas with reference to O. Can I locate that? Are you with me?
Yes.
So जहां से हमें centroid locate करना है उस point से xi and yi हमें locate करने पड़ेंगे. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now let us have a look at the formula given for centroid of semi-parabolic area. So where is the centroid? Tell me.
At a
What
distance
is
of
x bar?
y.
What is x bar? It is
Distance of the
3a
centroid
by
from it.
8. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
3a by 8. Now, how do I plot that x bar here? Tell me. यहाँ पे कैसे plot करूँ?
Um,
It is
it will
this
be a,
distance. Do you agree with me?
yes.
And how much is this distance? Happy?
Yes.
This is xi,
Yes.
x1 rather. And how much is this distance? x1. So that is given as 3a by 8. Happy?
Yes.
So 3 into a. What is a? 75 by 8. Happy?
Yes.
So can you tell me how much this will be in mm?
28.125.
28.125
125.
mm. Happy?
Yes.
Now what is the y bar? Its y bar is given as 3h by 5. Happy?
Yes.
But that distance, mind you, is from the vertex, vertical distance from the vertex. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this distance is given as 3h by 5. Happy?
Okay.
This is very critical. From vertex, the distance is given as 3h by 5. Are you with me?
Yes.
If this is 3h by 5, what should be the distance that interests me? The distance that interests me is this y1.
2h by 5.
No. What we will do instead of that is, what is this total distance? 120. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So 120 minus 3 times h by 5. But what is h?
H is
120.
Yes.
Have you got this point?
Yes. 1 second, sir.
फिर से एक बार मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूं बिकॉज दिस इज क्रूशियल पॉइंट. यहाँ पे जो दिया है वो वर्टेक्स के रेफरेंस से y बार का डिस्टेंस दिया है. बट इन आवर केस वी हैव फ्लिप्ड द पैराबोला. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
We have flipped it about x axis. So therefore vertex से मतलब ऊपर से distance 3h by 5 है. Are you with me?
Yes.
But we are not interested in that distance. We are interested in the distance from O. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this total distance is 120. And I want to get the distance of this centroid from O. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? 120 minus 3h by 5.
Yes.
So that's what I have done. 120 minus 3 into 120 by 5. So how much is that? Tell me.
1 second, sir. 48.
48. Right?
Yes, sir.
And is it positive or negative? So positive, because y is lying above the origin. Similarly, the first case may, whether x1 is positive or negative, positive because it is lying towards right hand side of O in positive
Yes.
x direction. Are you with me?
Yes,
So
sir.
therefore, when xi and yi will be positive or negative, जो origin आपने choose किया है उसके positive x के side में अगर xi lie कर रहा है तो वो positive है, otherwise it is negative. Happy?
Yes.
So we have different norms for xi, yi being positive or negative and ai being positive or negative. When ai is positive, when it is additive for the final shape. When ai is negative, when it is subtractive to get the final shape. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So ai के लिए अलग sign convention है, positive, negative. xi, yi के लिए अलग है. Are you with me?
Yes.
Imagine if I would have chosen this as origin, then with reference to this origin, this xi would have turned out to be negative. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And yi would have still stayed positive.
Yes.
So we have to be very careful with reference to which point are you locating centroid. उसके हिसाब से आपको sign देना है xi और yi को. Happy?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now let us go for A2. Where is the centroid of A2? Can you tell me? Where does it lie?
Yes.
So this is right angle triangle. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So its centroid lies at a distance 60 by 3, that is 20. Happy?
Hmm.
And this distance is 2/3 of 75. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And this distance is 1/3 of 75. So what is 1/3 of 75? 25.
Yes.
Are you with me? So now, can you tell me now what is x1 plus 25? Agreed?
Yes.
And what is y1, y2? This is
Plus
x2,
20. Plus
y2
20.
is plus 20. Happy?
Yes.
I will assign signs as well. Plus, plus. So far, so good. Now, what are we going to do next? To get x bar, that is centroid, what is the formula? Summation ai xi. Are you with me?
Yes.
So naturally, the next thing that I want to know is how much is ai xi and how much is ai yi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So let us check how much is ai xi and how much is ai yi. So how do I do that? That is fairly easy. Just tell me how much is 6,000 multiplied by 28.125.
It's 1,68,750.
1,68,750.
750.
ऐसा नंबर है या point something?
No, it's a whole number. No point.
Now what is the unit?
Millimeter.
No, it is mm
Square.
cube.
Millimeter square.
Cube. AI
Cube,
has
yes,
a unit
right.
of mm square. Xi
Right, right.
has a unit of mm cube. Now
Right.
can you tell me what is ai yi? So what you have to do? 6,000 multiplied by 48.
Yes.
Yes, how much is that?
2,88,000.
2,88,000. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes. And what is the unit? Mm cube.
Mm cube.
Great. Now let us go back to the next row. So what is ai xi here? It is going to be minus 2250 into plus 25. So how much is that?
Yes. Minus 56,250.
56,250. And this is minus 2250 into plus 20. So how much is that?
Minus 45,000.
Minus 45,000. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. And now what do we need to do in order to find out x bar and y bar? I need to sum these two quantities. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what is summation ai xi, where I runs from 1 to 2. To get the original shape, I have to split this area into two regular shapes whose centroids were known. So this is summation ai xi. What is summation ai xi? You have to sum 1,68,750 minus 56,250 with sign.
Yes.
Sum is with sign. So if you
Yes.
do that, how much do you get?
1,12,500.
1,12,500. So summation ai xi has turned out to be positive. That's all right. Now what about summation ai yi? How much is that? This is
2,43,000.
ai yi. So it is how much where I runs from 1 to 2. Happy?
Yes.
How much?
2,43,000.
This is also positive, 43,000. Happy?
Yes.
And now we also require summation of a. Do you agree with me? So how much
Yes.
is summation ai?
Uh,
So which sign you have to take this sign? So it is 6,000 minus
minus
2250.
2250. So 3750.
3750. Are you with me?
Yes.
What is the unit of ai? Summation ai xi mm cube. What is the unit of
Mm cube.
summation ai? Mm
Mm
square.
square.
So what will be the unit of summation ai xi upon summation ai? Mm.
Mm.
Are you with me? So what is
Yes.
x? Now x turns out to be the x coordinate of centroid of this area, and it turns out to be summation ai xi upon summation ai. Happy?
Yes.
So that is nothing but 1,12,500 divided by 3750. So how much is that?
30.
So this is 30 mm. Are you with me?
Yes.
And what is y? Y is nothing but summation ai by I divided by summation ai. So that is 2,43,000 divided by 3750.
Yes.
Tell me how much is that?
64.8.
64.8 mm. This is the answer. This is the location of centroid with reference to point O. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Can we draw this location for our clarity on the figure shown easily? X is equal to 30 mm. Do you agree with me? So
Yes.
the centroid lies at distance 30 mm. Happy?
Yes.
And what is the distance y? Y is 64.8. So 64 यहाँ पे ही 60 है, तो 64.8 is going to lie above this. Do you
Yes.
agree with me? So centroid lies somewhere here. So centroid lies within the body. That's what is expected.
Yes.
Are you with me? Just a minute. Yes. So how much is this distance? Tell me.
64.8.
64.8 mm. And how much is this distance?
30.
30 mm.
Yes.
This is the location of centroid. Happy?
Yes.
For the first problem. Now we are going to go to the second problem. We will just see how we are going to divide this figure into various areas, and then we will stop at 10:30 precisely. But जितना हो सके उतना कर लेते. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us take the simpler problem then. I will take this problem. So how do you divide this area? Tell me. Let us solve this problem first.
Into two parts, a rectangle and a triangle.
Into two parts, rectangle and triangle.
Triangle.
Yes. So there are various ways in which you can do that. You can consider this entire thing as a rectangle. From that you can subtract this triangle and this rectangle. Are you with me?
Yes.
That is one of the way. समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes, yes.
और वो भी वो उसमें आपको 3 areas calculate करने पड़ेंगे. But if you do this way, as you said, this is
Yes.
one rectangle and this is another rectangle, then we will have to split this figure only in 2 areas, A1
Yes.
and A2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we will go with this. So quickly tell me what is A1. So AI 20 multiplied by 36 plus 24 है ना?
Yes. 1200.
So A1 is equal to, let me write it, 20 multiplied by, yes, tell me. 36 plus 24 is how much? 60.
Yes.
So it is going to be 1200 mm square. Happy?
Yes.
And it is something like this. This is the location with reference to which we are finding out the centroids. Happy?
Yes.
How much is A2? Chalo, quickly.
1800.
So it is going to be 36 and this is 30.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing the entire rectangle. Sorry.
No, half into 36 into 20. Happy?
Yes.
So it is nothing but 360 mm square.
Yes.
Happy? So we have calculated AI. Now can you calculate XI for me?
Yes.
First area. What is XI? It is going to be at distance 10 from O. Agreed?
Yes.
And this distance is going to be how much? 30. 36 plus 24 by 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
So that is going to be 30. So I will write down this as xi as 10. Are you with me?
Yes.
This has positive sign because this area is additive.
Yes.
This also has positive sign because it is towards right from origin O. Happy?
Yes.
And then tell me what is yi.
30.
Yi is 30. And this also has positive sign because it is above origin. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Chalo. Now let us quickly do that for second area. Second area ke liye, where is the centroid? Tell me.
X15.
So how much is this distance? O से लेना है distance, mind you. So this
Okay.
distance, you will
15.
agree, it will be 30 plus
Yes.
1/3 of 36, 1/3 of height from base.
Yes.
Do you agree? So how much is that? 42.
So it will be 24 plus 1/3 of 36, right?
Yes, you are right. I am sorry. It will be 24 plus 1/3, not 30. You are absolutely right. It is 24 plus 1/3 of 36. So that is 36 itself.
36.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Thanks for correcting. 36 mm. Now, what about x distance? So this distance is 20. And how much is? So I am now talking about this one. Are you with me?
Yes.
So how much is that? So that is 20 plus this 20 plus 1/3 of 30. Happy?
Yes.
Base से 1/3 पे रहता है centroid. Are you with
Yes.
me? 1/3
Yes.
of height पे. So that is nothing but how much? Tell me.
30.
30 mm. So both are positive. So I got xi and yi as
30 and
30
36.
and 36 positive. So will you complete the next part of it in the next class? What you have to do, I will tell you that. So you have to do ai xi. Happy?
Yes.
Then you have to do ai yi. Summation ai. You have to take summation ai xi and summation ai yi. From that, you have to calculate x equal to summation ai xi upon summation ai. Happy?
Yes.
And y equal to summation ai yi upon summation ai. So complete this exercise and share your solution on our group. पहले मुझसे share करो. Let me check it. Then you can share it on the group. इसका solution. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow we are going to solve this 10th problem, then this 8th problem, and then I am going to give you few more problems which I have already solved for the other class. So you can also make use of them, and you can solve it on your own and cross verify the answer with my solution. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow we will probably conclude the chapter on centroids, and then we will march ahead. So for today, let us stop. I hope everybody has put their attendance. Hello, was I audible throughout the class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because some glitch happened. I was seeing myself muted. Okay, I was audible, right?
Yes, sir. Completely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let us stop for today. We will meet tomorrow. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.